we recognize and know that healing is right here for the asking. It is within our grasp. And so we make ourselves open and receptive to receiving the healing, the breakthrough that we all desire to have. We work toward our personal resurrection, knowing that everything that is true of God is true of us. And so we take the time out this morning to connect with, to commune with, to recognize our oneness with Spirit, and to resurrect that Christ mind within us, knowing that all is well, all is healed, all is perfect. And so we accept this morning our oneness with God, our healing in mind, body, and spirit. And we say, thank you, God, for this healing. Thank you, God, for this service. Thank you, God, for every person who has shown up today and is working on their breakthrough in 2024. And we release this word to the universe knowing that it shall not return unto us void, but rather it shall prosper and accomplish the thing we have sent it to do. And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Day. It's a beautiful day today. And it seems like you have come out for your healing experience. So, as I always say when we come together, we are one. One in love, one in spirit, and one in truth. And today, I really wanted to do something that would be symbolic of the resurrection, and that would also speak to our theme for the year of breaking barriers and limitations. And as I thought about this lesson, Reverend Andrea and I really had one objective in mind for you today, and that is for you to experience a resurrection, to feel a sense of renewal and rebirth, to have some type of a shift or release or some kind of a break from whatever it is that you're experiencing in your life. And for you to get a sense that you have the power and the ability to confront your barriers and your limitations, and to not just break through them, but to let them die. To kill them, because they're not real anyway. They're only in your mind. And what you want to do is to resurrect your power, your authority, and your authentic divine self. In churches all over the world today, many of them will be talking about the resurrection of Jesus, but not the resurrection of the Christ. Let me say that again, because I think y'all missed what I'm saying. Many churches today will be talking about the resurrection of Jesus, the man, but not the resurrection of the Christ. I want to paraphrase Ernest Holmes from his book, Science of Mind. He says, the Christ is a universal idea of sonship of which we are all a member, not just Jesus. You each embody the Christ nature to the degree that the Christ is revealed through you. Therefore, to that degree, you each become the Christ. Therefore, the Christ indwells within each of us. So I can say, Christ Jeremy, Christ Ife, Christ Trina, Christ Georgette, Christ Tonette. The Christ indwells within each of you, not just in Jesus. And so that resurrection that Jesus experienced wasn't just a physical manifestation. It was a resurrection of mind, body, and spirit. Because knowing the indwelling presence and power of the Christ is our true nature, this means that we can lift our thoughts and uplift our consciousness from the depths of barriers and limitations, from the restrictions of false beliefs and error thinking, and rise to a place of life, of wholeness, vitality, and regeneration. And that is the connection that I want to make regarding resurrection today. Elizabeth Sands Turner states in her book, Your Hope of Glory, the resurrection is the uplifting of the whole man into the Christ consciousness. The whole man is spirit, soul, and body. The resurrection lifts up all the faculties of mind until they conform to the absolute idea of divine mind. And this renewal of the mind makes a complete transformation of the body so that every function works in divine order and every cell becomes incorruptible and immortal. I said a whole lot. Because when we think of this idea of resurrection and the Christ, Jesus the Christ, it's solely about him and what he did. But what I want you to know today is going to be about your resurrection and what you do today. Because the revealing word tells us that resurrection is the restoring of mind and body to their original undying state. Through resurrection, man becomes an inhabitant here and now of a new heaven and a new earth. So you're being resurrected to your divine and authentic true self, your Christ nature. So there's no barrier you can't overcome. So when we look at resurrection as a means of restoring you to your original state of power and divinity, which allows you to break through the barriers and limitations to your healing. So now you're asking, what does breaking barriers have to do with resurrection? Doesn't seem like it should be connected, does it? But it is connected. Because breaking barriers is a form of resurrection that allows you to realign and reconnect with spirit and your limitless potentiality. Breaking barriers is a form of resurrection which can lead to your renewal, your rebirth, and the healing of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Because when you live within barriers, you trap yourself within that limited space, and you can't heal because you are closed inside of a barrier. Therefore, you can't get the healing that you desire. When you break a barrier, it's an opportunity for rebirth. When you break a barrier, then you can see what you need to be healed of and how you can go about getting that healing. When you break a barrier, you are free to see exactly what needs to be resurrected, brought back to life in your life. Sometimes breaking a barrier itself is the very healing that you need. When you break a barrier, that is your renewal. So now that you understand the connection between breaking barriers and resurrection, Reverend Andrea is going to come up and explain to you what we're going to do today in this barrier-breaking, healing, and resurrection experience. Because I want to make it very clear to you, it is an experience, and you have to do the work to experience it. It's not going to come any other way. You've got to do the work.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. As Reverend Sharon shared, this day is a day for you to shed the barriers and limitations that have prevented you from your renewal and rebirth. This service that we're about to participate in has been designed purposefully and with love. Every part of this ceremony has symbolism and meaning to give you the tools and experiences to support you in your unfoldment, your spiritual awakening, your resurrection. Reverend Jada and I will guide you through the first part of this service that we call contemplation. And this is akin to Jesus' time in the Garden of Gethsemane. In the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, Charles Fillmore defines Gethsemane as the struggle that takes place within the consciousness when truth is realized as the one reality. All the good is pressed out and saved, and the error is denied away. This is often agony, the suffering that the soul undergoes in giving up its cherished idols or in letting go of human consciousness. So, in other words, those limiting beliefs, error thoughts, and negative frequencies and vibrations that have limited your ability to be barrier free, you're letting go. And instead, embracing your own renewal, rebirth, and resurrection. For those of you who participated in the Breaking Boards experience and brought your boards today, you'll be able to contemplate those barriers that you wrote on those boards and how far you have come in breaking through. Others of you will have the opportunity to write down those barriers and limitations you wish to break through. In the second part of this service, we call it renewal and resurrection. And Reverend Sharon will guide you through this part. The Revs have prepared this sacred space of healing. The revealing word tells us that when the mind is free from error thoughts, harmony in the body ensues. Permanent healing is never accomplished until the mental cause of the dis-ease, the error thought, is removed.
Yes.
This is where you will have the opportunity to do your work.
Mm-hmm.
Your work. The Revs will hold space for you to do your own healing, to embrace your renewal and rebirth. And at the same time, we will be also providing Reiki for the entire group. Reverend Sharon will go into more detail about what will happen in this time. And then finally, Reverend Jocelyn will guide you through the third part of this service, one of the most important parts of everything that we do: gratitude and thanksgiving. Gratitude and thanksgiving are both necessary in demonstrating prosperity through divine law. Be grateful to God and thankful to the friends whom He uses to supply you. All metaphysicians have found by experience that being thankful for what they have has increased the inflow. Gratitude is a great mind magnet, and when it is expressed from the spiritual standpoint, it is powerfully augmented. Thanksgiving will keep the heart fresh. For true thanksgiving may be likened to rainfall upon ready soil, refreshing it and increasing its productivity. So not only will this gratitude portion of this service augment the healing that you receive here today, but it will allow you to continue the healing cycle of breaking through your barriers and limitations, of renewal and rebirth and resurrection. So that's what we'll be doing today. Now, Reverend Jada will start the next part of the service.
Experience really what that is. So when we are breathing in, we know we are breathing in that very element that keeps us alive. And then when we're exhaling, we're breathing back into that life. So let's take a moment to still ourselves and get comfortable in our chairs. Putting your hands in a comfortable manner, whatever is comfortable for you. And let's close our eyes. And we're going to take a deep breath in, breathing in, holding it, and release. Now what I want you to do is to focus on what it is you say you desire. What it is you say you want. What are those goals that you have? What is the vision Let's deep breath in, breathing in and release. And one last deep breath in, breathing in. Hold it and release with an ah. And when you're ready, open your eyes. For those of you that have brought your boards that you broke earlier this year, you can go ahead and take those out. And those of you that don't have a board, there is a clipboard underneath. Go ahead and pull that out. And this is your opportunity to take a look at the boards for those of you that brought it and all the things that you wrote on it. For those of you who have the clipboard, I want you to take a moment and write down what are those barriers that you want to break through to get to your desire, the desires of your heart. Take a few minutes, and those of you who have the clipboards, and write down what you want to break, what you want to overcome. Remember, our affirmation for 2024 is there are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in me. If you need to add something, go ahead. You have your board, you don't have to write. But take a look at those of you who have your boards. Look at those barriers, those things that you wanted to overcome. This is our time of contemplation. We want to be able to get it out. Some of you who have your boards, you may be at the point where you can see that you have been breaking your barriers. Look at how far you've already come. And those of you who are writing your clipboard, when you're finished, just lift your head up and let me know that you're done. Reverend Dre is going to lead us through our next step.
Now the fun begins. All right. Okay. So this list that's either on your board or on your clipboard represents your belief in barriers and limitation. A belief in things that can and do hold you back from the good you desire in life. A belief that you are not a divine and powerful spiritual being. Today, you will stand on your list of barriers and limitations. The words on the list are the things that you want to die, to no longer exist within you, for you to no longer be fearful of or have a belief in. They no longer disempower you. So stand upon the list. This is you being grounded, strong, centered, standing up in your divinity. You are standing upon your faith. This is you asserting dominion over the things on the list. It is you standing up and declaring that you are overcoming what's on your list. That you are standing in your power and your authority as divine spiritual beings. The list that will be under your feet also symbolize your understanding of those earthly conditions, the barriers that are now under your feet. You have a greater understanding of those conditions. You are starting to have a birth. You'll be having a renewal based on this understanding. You'll be moving into a firmer grounding, a firmer understanding. You are breaking away from the things under your feet and ready for a regeneration, a renewal. You have a greater understanding of yourself because you've spent these first couple of months and this Lenten season uncovering and getting an understanding of your perceived barriers and limitations. You are ready now to move from the barriers on your list to your resurrection and rebirth, which is symbolized in the work you'll be doing later with the Rose of Jericho plant. Metaphysically, the meaning of stand is to hold fearlessly to the truth that Spirit is doing its perfect work and that there is no cause for alarm. Endurance is necessary to a soldier, and everyone who aspires to win the good fight of self must be able to stand against whatever comes. But before we can stand, we must be prepared to meet adverse thoughts and overcome unworthy desires. So now I want you all to place your lists on the ground in front of you. And I want you all to stand on the list. All right. Now you're standing firmly on your list. And I want you to feel the energy you felt when you wrote your barriers on the back of that board or on that paper. What were the thoughts and feelings that ran through your mind? The beliefs and thoughts about what your barriers and limitations are and what is holding you back. What was the fear and energy you felt as you wrote your list? Do you feel any of that residual energy? Or have you already begun to move beyond it and release it? What is the new energy that you need to feel? That you need to move past, to break through, to experience your renewal, your rebirth, and regeneration. Allow this energy to flow through your body now. This energy of renewal, this energy of courage, this energy of strength, this energy of freedom. Feel that now. Feel that energy and visualize what it will take or what it has taken to break through those barriers and limitations, to feel this energy moving up from your feet. Feel it coming up from the bottom of your feet, all the way up through the top of your head, to the crown of your head. What actions do you need to undertake to push through your barriers? Allow it to strengthen your desire and will to move through any challenge, any obstacle that you may fear. Now is the time. Now is the time to break free. Now is the time to have the strength, the courage, and wisdom. Now is the time to feel the fear and do it anyway. Now is the time to affirm that you are no longer in the darkness of fear and limited belief. You have been re-energized and renewed. You now have an understanding of your perceived fears and recognize that they hold no power over you. You need that rebirth. You need a resurrection. It is time to move from the depths of fear to the light of renewal and regeneration. We will now assist you with that next step. But first, let us affirm together 3 times the 2024 Breaking Barrier affirmation. there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Again, there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Hold. Feel that energy. Feel the words. Feel the frequency and vibration of the words that you are saying. Internalize it. Feel it fully. Take a breath. Release. And one more time together. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. You may be seated.
All righty. So now, this is where you're going to do your real work. This is where your real work for you to experience that shift, that sense of spirit, that sense of something moving in you, that sense of something greater than you that is going to show you and reveal to you the truth of who you are, that you are spirit, that there are no barriers in you because there are no barriers in God, and you and the Father are one. Because we say that, but we don't really feel it all the time. When a challenge, a condition, a circumstance comes up, we don't put that first. We look at the circumstance, the challenge. And so in this experience, I want you to feel that shift, that connection, that alignment with the truth of who you are. So you've been doing some breathing, but I want you to do some different breathing with me today, right now. I want you to inhale and let your mind expand. I want you to exhale and let your mind be right here, right now, in this present moment. Close your outer eyes, please. Inhale the expansion of your heart. Exhale and let your heart be present right here and right now. Inhale clarity and vision. Exhale that clarity and vision is present right now. And I want you to affirm yourself. Just listen to the words and take these words into your inner being. I accept myself as I am. I embrace all parts of my being. Put your hand over your heart, please. I am a divine being. I am all possibilities. I am limitless. I am spiritually connected to all that there is. This connection allows me to be my authentic self. I am whole. I am wholeness. I am complete, just as I am. I transcend fear, doubt, and anxiety. I am abundance, power, and love. I allow no thing to bind, limit, or hold me back. I rise in courage, faith, and strength. I am spiritually strong, I am free. I am peace. I am omnipresent. I am omniscient. I am omnipotent. I am all that God is, and all power lies within me. Take a deep breath and exhale on that. And so now the ministers and I will be supporting you with healing energy to aid you in receiving the light and upliftment that you need. There will be 3 ministers inside the circle, holding space and uplifting you with affirmative prayer. There will be 3 ministers outside this circle, and they will be sending you Reiki healing energy. Because through healing energy, we can connect with our authentic selves and awaken our innate potential. As we restore the natural flow of energy within us, we open ourselves to the limitless possibilities of self-discovery, growth, and healing. So there is nothing for you to do. Just be open, be willing, and be ready to awaken what's already within you. Be willing to shift the atmosphere. Be willing to accept your healing and resurrection. Just be. introduce to you. Well, you know what? Let's do this first, because I love this part. Does anybody know what this is? It was a good guess. Does anybody know what this is? Anybody know what this is? Anybody know what this is? It's a good guess. It's a root. That's a good, you know what? That's a good. This is the Rose of Jericho. The Rose of Jericho is an ancient plant that is known for its ability to come back to life. It's also known as the resurrection plant because it appears to be dried out and it looks like it's dead. It's often compared to tumbleweed because it looks similar and it can survive in extremely dry climates and it can easily rehydrate itself. It can survive years in this dried or dormant state. Okay? So I said it's also called the resurrection flower. It's called Kaf Miriam, Miriam's flower, the hand of Maria, the hand of Fatima. And this plant has been mentioned in various and many rituals and traditions by people of many cultures and faiths. In traditional Christian religions, the Rose of Jericho is strongly connected to Jesus, his crucifixion, and his resurrection. It is also mentioned in Islamic traditions, the Catholic religion, and in various African diaspora religions such as Hoodoo, Voodoo, and Santeria. It symbolizes transformation, renewal, resurrection, but also prosperity. So that's pretty interesting. So on this table, we have 3 rows of Jericho plants, each in different stages of resurrection. The first plant, which I had in my hand, it shows you what it's looked like in its dormant state without water. It appears dead. It appears without life. This second plant is in water. As you can see, it's just beginning to open up, starting to turn green, but some of the fronds are still dried and haven't come back to life yet. That's probably after I put it in water, I want to say 4 or 5 hours, okay? And this one, I put in water, but I took it out last night because I didn't want it to fully open. It's almost opening up, and it'll completely turn green for the most part, except for some of the fronds. So that's why it's called the resurrection plant, because you can see how it rehydrates itself from that dormant state. That's symbolic for you in your own resurrection. Because that Rose of Jericho reflects and is a symbol of your physical manifestation of your resurrection and renewal. Up to this point, I hope that we brought you so that you understand renewal and regeneration and the work that you have to do and that you've done this morning. Maybe you felt a shift or release or a break from whatever you've been experiencing, and now you have some sense that you have the power and the ability to confront your barriers and to break through any limitations that may hold you back in any area of your life. But here's the thing. Fully realizing your resurrection is up to you. And it's actually on you. It's up to you and it's on you to do the work. The same way that that Rose of Jericho plant opens up and has its own resurrection from its dormant state, we want you to experience your resurrection and feeling of renewal and rebirth in your life. So we're going to offer you a Rose of Jericho. It's in a bag. And it is your choice to accept this plant and to do the work of resurrection that comes with it. Because the plant's going to open up when you put it in water. But it's not just about the plant. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean. Because the plant is a powerful reminder of the cycles of life and death and the promise of new beginnings and renewal that comes with faith in a higher power. But what we want you to do for your resurrection is during April to sit in mindfulness with your Rose of Jericho and to become aware of how you can resurrect your faith and your power, resurrect your dreams and your goals. Because for each one of you, it's different what you want to resurrect and rebirth and bring back to life again. That Rose of Jericho plant represents the manifestation of your renewal. It will be your opportunity to sit still and be at one with the unfoldment of your own spirit, with your own renewal, revitalization, and reawakening. It is a living demonstration for you that the power and presence of spirit is alive within you. Sometimes it seems like you don't feel the presence and power of God moving in your life. Sometimes the conditions and the challenges and the outer things get the best of you, and you have your moment. That's what I like to call it, because it's only a moment if you turn to spirit. But what about if you dwell in that space and you can't seem to get out of it? But that doesn't mean that the presence and power isn't still within you. You just haven't turned to it. You haven't awakened it. You haven't tapped it on the shoulder and said, I'm listening. Guide me, direct me. I'm ready, I'm willing, I'm open. Show me what to do. Sometimes we get caught up in what's going on, that outer stuff, and we forget about what's within. But it's dormant. It's laying in there waiting to come back to life. And that's the connection that we want you to make with your Rose of Jericho. So here's the thing, I'm going to say it again. We're going to offer it to you, but you don't have to accept it. It's your choice. Because all of this is your choice, by the way. Do the work, don't do the work. That's up to you. Heal, don't heal. That's up to you. Because everybody, including me, I got my own stuff to worry about, much less what you're dealing with. I'm going to do my work because I don't want to continue in this cycle of whatever it is that I may be experiencing. But the work is up to you. The resurrection is up to you. Okay? So should you accept this assignment, here's what you need to do when you get your Rose of Jericho home. Because, of course, I'm going to make it a little complicated. I'm just going to tell you. I'm not going to just say that take the Rose of Jericho and put it in some water and that's the end of it. No, I'm not going to do that. Y'all should have known that, right? So I want you to choose a bowl and fill it with fresh, clean water. And when you're ready, what I want you to do is take your Rose of Jericho plant in your hand, and I want you to connect with its energy. Now, y'all look at this and say, where's the energy in this? Isn't this thing dead? No, it's not. Again, it's the same thing that's going on within you. It's not dead. It's just asleep. It's just dormant. You have to reawaken it within you. So connect with the energy when you get it home. That's the first thing I want you to do. After you connect with the energy, I want you to use your spiritual tools. You do have a toolbox full of spiritual tools to use. That's your meditation. That's your prayer. That's your visualization. That's your chanting. That's your affirmative prayer. You get what I'm saying? Sit with it, and that's going to help to awaken the plant. That's that connection with that Rose of Jericho. As it's awakening, you're awakening something in yourself. Once you feel the energy of the plant, place it in a bowl of water, shallow bowl of water. It'll start to awaken after about 4 hours or so. You'll see, and actually you'll see it begin to unfurl. You'll see the movement. You'll see it moving. It's an amazing thing to watch it. And so I want you to sit with it and watch it unfurling and returning back to life. The leaves and the branches are going to turn from brown to green. I want you to visualize and to feel the same movement taking place within your very being. Because again, it's not just about that Rose of Jericho. It's about you recognizing this connection and this resurrection within yourself. Because you are being brought back to life along with the plant. You are being nourished by the living water and energy of spirit. You are no longer in the darkness and depths of fear and limited belief. You have the power to break through your barriers because you are being resurrected from fear and limitation. All belief in barriers is dead and dying. You are being re-energized, renewed, and resurrection in your mind, in your body, and in your spirit. So, if you are ready and willing to accept the work of the Rose of Jericho and to experience your full resurrection, I want you to step forward to receive your plant. And in addition to the plant, I've got some little bottles that contain some oil that's been specially created to open you up. And then you're going to take, it's a one-pager. It's got something on the both sides that I put together, a little handout, that's going to give you 3 little lessons from the Rose of Jericho. And then it's going to tell you how to care for your Rose of Jericho plant. Because let me share with you, my mom and my grandmother have had Rose of Jericho in my life, my entire life. And so I've known about the Rose of Jericho since I was a little girl. My mother and grandmother always kept it sitting by the door. In one, which is what I have here, she would always put coins. Because I told you that it was for prosperity as well. So she always kept one at the front door for prosperity. Because it wasn't just at Easter time that my mother would have it. She had it all year round on my grandmother. And in the second one, I have just some stones. And I set it right on top of that to keep it from being fully immersed in the water. And from time to time, my mother would say, let's sit with the Rose of Jericho. Let's just be still with the Rose of Jericho. I didn't fully understand what I was doing. I do now. But I would just sit with it, and the miraculousness of it opening up was like, a kid, oh, wow, look at that. Didn't get the spiritual meaning of it. But you now understand what you're doing. And you have the choice to accept the work or not. Okay? So if you're ready to trust the process, to be open to the unfolding of your healing journey, come get your Rose of Jericho plant.
Let's take a breath together. Come on. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Let's inhale together one more time. Whew. Order my steps. Let's exhale. Last time together. Inhale. Whew. And release. Feels good. Feels good in here, right?
Yes.
So grateful to be in this space. So grateful to be spending this Resurrection Sunday with each and every one of you in this healing circle. You know what my favorite thing about New Thought is? Simply, if you think a new thought, you can change your life.
Hey.
If you think a new thought, you can resurrect what you let be dormant in your heart, in your desires, in your mind. If you think a new thought, that will be pushed away from the tomb. You can get out of that tomb and you can live this healed life. If you think a new thought, if you think a true thought, you will know there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there are no barriers in me.
Come on now.
And that's what I'm most grateful for in this space, in this place, in this journey of truth in my life. And I hope that you are grateful and have gratitude for what we just experienced right now, what you can experience on your own every day when you resurrect, open those eyes in the morning, and you say, thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. For all the things you do. I could go on and on.
Yes.
Gratitude, thanksgiving is the easiest prayer we all can say. The simplest prayer you can keep on your tongue. So as we're feeling this energy, as we're in this expanded space of consciousness, that tomb has been rolled away. We have accepted this rose of Jericho, knowing that when we place it in the water, the living water symbolizes this new thought that we're thinking, this grateful divinity that we have within us. Because again, I will say it again, there are no barriers in God, therefore there can be no barriers in us. So I want you to gently close your eyes. And as we all sit here together, collectively in consciousness, knowing that there is only one power, one presence in this universe. Many call it God, universal intelligence, divine mind. I like to call it the eternal divine. Knowing that that divinity is within us. It is inherent. We are grateful for that divinity. We are grateful for the ability to pull every faculty that universal intelligence in-houses. It's within us. It may be dormant, like that rose, but we are grateful as the living waters flow through us. We are grateful that every barrier that we've just stood on today, that every word of healing, every piece of energy that Reiki has soared through us, we are grateful for our resurrection today. We are grateful for our healing today. We are grateful to release what no longer serves us. We are grateful to know there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. So in this treatment of thanksgiving, of gratitude, think about what you stood on. Think about what you want to release. And understand that it is already done. All you have to do is think a new thought. Take a new step in the new direction. Understand that that work, that perfect work, is within you and you can do it. So as you release those things, as you remember the desires of your heart, everything that you desire, everything that you want in this life, I want you to release it. Think about it moving in the ethers, collecting everything that it needs for it to be perfectly fulfilled in you. If you want that new job, release that anxiety. Let it go into the ethers and tickle the ear of your new boss. You want that new car, you want that new business partner, space, place, whatever it may be. You gotta open your hands up, open your mind up, let it go. And when you send it off with gratitude, with gratefulness, knowing that it will come back to you, not void, but blessed and multiplied.
Yes.
And as we solidify this treatment, I want you to remember that the Christ mind, what has been resurrected today, is your most expanded consciousness.
Yes.
And that's where we release this prayer and how we release our prayer, with our Christ mind, with our most expanded form of consciousness. In the name and nature of your highest, of your greatest, of your most expanded. And so it is.
So it is.
Are we feeling healed? Are we feeling resurrected? Are we feeling at peace, love, and energy, and that thankfulness that Reverend Joseph gave us? Let's take this energy and move from this space today and not forget what we came here and what we received. So I'm going to bring us our announcement. Next Sunday, we will have our very own Reverend Joanna bringing us the journey in truth. So I encourage all of you, as you are all here today, I'm expecting to see all of y'all here next week.
Come on.
And the rest of the month.
Say that
And
again.
I'm expecting to see each of you here next week and the rest of the month. And then the following Sunday, we're going to have our truth and trending topic. So the Revs are going to have an insightful conversation on a topic that we're going to bring truth to. There's a lot of things going on out in the world, but sometimes we got to bring a little truth to it so you can really see the meaning behind what is going and what is happening. So we're going to be talking about that the following Sunday. And then we will have our very own world-renowned Dr. Rocco Errico, who will bring us his lesson in his way, which you know comes in a very unique way and brings in the Aramaic Bible. So we encourage you, again, I encourage you again to be here throughout the month of April and going forward, not just in April. We want to continue to see you and support with us. And then we're going to take a little field trip. We're not going to be in here. We're going to go to the Serenbe Labyrinth for a sound healing experience. So please mark your calendars, put that in your iPhones, put that on your other phone, your Android phone, and put it on your calendar so you show up and you come out and have this healing experience. And I have to say all But join us. You'll have more information about it as we go forward in the month. But please mark it on your calendar because we will not be in this space. We will be in this space having more of the healing that you received today. So that brings us to the part of our service where we are going to give. And giving is a way of receiving. Tithing is a way of receiving back. So we know that you received the healing today. So you give to receive. One of the ways to give is through our Tithely, and you can set it up as a one-time setup, and the number is here on the screen. Or, of course, you can always use the Cash App handle, which is $LT365. But what I really want to encourage you to do is to become a sustainable member. Yes. We talked about this last week, right? So this is what I encourage you to do. Because we get so caught up in life, right? And sometimes we can't make it here physically every Sunday. And when you're streaming, sometimes you forget to give. Because you might be streaming and be like, oh, it's over, let me go and do something else. But this way, you will continue to give your support to Living Truth 365.
Reverend Chantal, can you walk them through just a quick step
Absolutely.
here?
Absolutely. Zelle set up through your bank account, if you didn't know. But Zelle, you can do it. You set it up as Living Truth as a payee, livingtruth365 at Gmail. And then you create a payment and you mark it repeating payments. And if you need more information, contact your bank. But the bank is the way you do the Zelle. And then the Cash App, if you have your Cash App on your phone, Cash App, this was new to me. I didn't know this until today. Cash App has a way to do reoccurring payments now. So you again set up your $LT365, and then you tap on the activity tab at the bottom of the page, and then you're going to create a payment using AutoPay. So this is a way that you can become a sustainable member and continue to sustain this ministry, so we can continue to bring these lessons and healing to you. My mic not working?
I don't think your mic is hot.
My mic not be working. Okay, on to the next one. But you all can hear me in here, right? Yes.
Of course.
So I encourage you to become a sustainable member. We all have, like I said, a lot going on, and this is a way that you can continue to make sure that you're giving so that you are receiving as we give here. So if you all take the time right now, either set yourself up as a sustainable member or give your Cash App, and I'm gonna give you a few moments to do that. I'm gonna get mine so I can do it as well. And when you are done, just look at me, and we will go ahead and do our affirmation together. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes because I see some people still giving. I want to give mine. So let's take our affirmation 3 times. There is no lack or limitation. There is only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow, and I am one with it. There is no lack or limitation. There is only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow, and I am one with it. There is no lack or limitation. There is only infinite abundance. And through my giving, I tap into the infinite flow, and I am one with it. And let's take this final affirmation 3 times. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. I am tapping infinite prosperity and sharing. And so it is. Some more announcements that we have for you. So remember, our Moments in Meditation is every Thursday at 7 p.m. with our very own Reverend Drea. And this is Zoom, so you don't have to leave your home, you don't have to go anywhere, but it's a time to get still and take some time to rejuvenate yourself and learn the practice of meditation. And she's powerful in her meditation, so I encourage you to come, learn about some stones, learn about how the stones heal you. It's a whole lot going on with it. So come, join us during our Zoom meetings. Also, the Nora Foundation, which is our very own Dr. Rocco, has his Aramaic School of Light, which is the second Saturday of each month from 1 to 3, and it's $30 for that class. Or you can join online, which is every Wednesday evening from 7 to 8, and that is just a love offering. And for more information, you can go to email the website at norafoundation@mail.com, or you can call the numbers listed above. Every Friday, we are still having our Friday breakthrough calls. So we encourage you to come on and get some inspiration. Get what you need to release or talk through on that Friday call. It's at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's not very long, but come in and get what you need to break through, to continue to break through your barriers in 2024. We are continuing to release what no longer serves you. We are releasing old cell phones, old laptops, old glasses. You will see the box out front. So as you come into service every Sunday, because I expect to see y'all every Sunday, right? Look around your home, see if you have some of these old things laying around, and release them. Bring them in here. We are donating these items to a nonprofit that will be able to utilize them. So they're going to go to a good cause instead of just sitting around your house collecting dust, right? And then clear your space. Clear your space. We have our Discovering in Truth classes going on now with Reverend JC. No? Reverend Sharon? Okay, well, Reverend Sharon doing it. Excuse me. Reverend Sharon, so join. You still have the opportunity to join. And if you would like to join, here's some information. You can email us or talk with one of the Revs, and we can make sure that you get involved in this class. It's not too late to join, even though the class has started. So please consider to join if it's something that you're interested in. And we want your recipes, healthy recipes. Let me put that. Healthy recipes, so we can all be healthy. And we're still looking for those. So email livingtruth365recipes@gmail.com so that we can share ways of being healthy with each other. So please take the time. If you got some healthy recipes, we would love. I like recipes. I'm a recipe cooker. Like I don't cook off the top of my head quite yet. So I go off of recipes. So I'm really looking to feed my family more healthier. So I would love y'all healthy recipes to help me with that. And as I said, we're still donating. So we're donating also old glasses. I have a whole bunch of old glasses in my home that, the prescription goes bad or you have those frames, bring them in. So we would love to have your old glasses so someone else can use them and they can be a service to someone else instead of them sitting in our drawers and we're not doing anything with them. Get your rep and tea. Kafini Studios at SD.com. As you see, this is the way to represent truth. And partial of the donations come back to Living Truth 365. So we encourage you to go on and get your rep and tea. So when you're out in them streets, people can be like, oh, where you get that from? I like that message right there. So come on into Kafini Studios and get it. And also get your Breaking Barrier merch today. You can scan here. It'll bring you to the Kafini Studios at SD. Or you can go to the website, st.kafinistudios.com. So we encourage you to get your teas, get your Breaking Barriers. When you're out in them streets and people are like, oh, where you get that? Living Truth 365, why don't you check them out? Because they are on, the web. You can go to www.livingtruth365.org. And when you're out with your rep and tea or you're out with your Breaking Barrier, point them to our website so they can learn more about us, so we can have more people in here getting the truth that you all are experiencing, right? Okay. So I'm going to have Reverend Drea come back up and give us the charge for the month of April.
Okay, guys. Woo, I'm still feeling
a little charged myself. But we have a charge for you. And Reverend Sharon had already alluded to it. It was about working with this Rose of Jericho. And there's a couple of other things I wanted to remind you. And this is a shameless plug to come back, join me. Don't make me be here by myself next week for our Journey in Truth service next week. Next week, we are going to be introducing you the key for this next month, which is going to be mindfulness. So you'll get a clear understanding of what that is and how you'll be able to use it to help you break through and break your barriers. So we want you here for that. But also, there's something going on the day after that, right? The solar eclipse is on April 8th, right? So this is a big one. A great portion of the United States will be seeing a full solar eclipse. Unfortunately, Georgia's not one of them, but there's a strip going from like Texas to Maine. It's like going in that kind of angle in the United States. And this is supposed to be the last one until I think 2044 or something like that you're going to be able to see it like that. So a lot of people are going to be acknowledging that time, very energetic time for us. So what we want you to do over the next 7 days, right, because tomorrow is the 1st, is to make sure that you work with your Rose of Jericho daily, water it, and spend time watching it resurrect. Understanding that as it unfurls and returns to life, this is symbolic of your own resurrection. The number 7 and the number 8 have real symbolic meanings, right? So we'll be here on the 7th day, which is the day of completion, right? It's a day of completion, a day which you all are really focusing, mindfully paying attention to what you are experiencing, what you're feeling, as you see it symbolically happen with your Rose of Jericho. Number 7. The number 8 is a symbol of new beginnings, right? So is the solar eclipse, where you'll be able to see what it is you're ready to do now, what barriers you have broken through, what milestones you have accomplished. We've all broken through some barrier. Each and every single day you have a rebirth and renewal. Not just in your body with your cells regenerating and renewing, but in your mind and in your heart and in your spirit. So we're ready on the 8th for that new beginning. So we charge you to go ahead and work with that over the next 7 days and come in, right? So we get this full understanding of mindfulness, and then we can take full advantage of this solar eclipse energy and experience it in a way that we can use that energy as we move forward into this next part of our life. So join us next week. Work with your Rose of Jericho to that 7th day of completion. And then on 8th, that new beginning as you break through and move forward in becoming the best expansion of yourself. Thank you.
All right, good people. We have kept you all here longer than normal. So I affirm for each of you your resurrection and your power to break your barriers and limitations. I affirm this for you, whether you affirm it for yourself or not. Know that it's already done. Focus on the things that you need to do to resurrect the power of God within you. Break through your barriers and limitations. Reclaim your power, accept your divinity, and resurrect your dreams and your goals, because they're waiting on you. If you don't resurrect it and bring it to life, who will? It's waiting on you. That business, that new house, that new car, that new relationship, the retirement vacation home that you want in the Caribbean, whatever it is, resurrect your goals and your dreams. Claim it. It is here for the claiming. That's the thing I want you to understand. It's not dead. I can't repeat this enough. It's not dead. It's dormant. It's just waiting on you, not me, you, to resurrect your own dreams. Because there are no barriers in you. There are no barriers in you. There are no barriers in you. So I don't want anybody calling me on the phone, coming in here with their sad stories about, this is my challenge and my limitation. There are no barriers in you. I don't care if that's all you get out of this today. There are no barriers in you. So let's repeat that 2024 closing affirmation together. Y'all know it. I don't have to show it. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Stop. Because y'all don't really sound like you believe that. So I'm going to give you a break. Here's your Barrier Breaking 2024 workbook from March through June. So make sure you pick it up before you leave to work with it, because tomorrow is April 1st. So, do you believe it?
Yes.
One last time then.
There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me.
And so it is.
So it is.
Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.